how can I rise above stress and conquer the daily challenges that come into my life? We're talking about any challenge, whether it's a school, whether it's at home, whether it's a relationship or things like that. I deal with this kind of question, but probably rephrased in a different way with the people that I train because they have all kinds of challenges in their mind the moment they're playing, especially when they're moving from training towards competition. This happens obviously a lot more with kids and teenagers when they're starting a lot of times in the phase when they're starting to compete, when they're starting to deal with the stress of competition. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about an exercise that I like to do with the people that I train, and this is something specifically focused on how to work mentally on those stressful times when you're going through pretty much anything. This, what I'm talking about, is something that is basically pretty much a mix of a visualization and a meditation. It's a visualization because we're looking at the things that we're facing on three phases: on the before, the middle, or the during, and after. And it's a meditation because the idea is that we're going to face those problems that we're facing in a slow tempo. If we're talking about sports, this is something that is going to be probably even more helpful and easier to relate to. Now, let's assume we're not talking about sports. Let's assume that you're talking about relationships of school. So you have three phases. You want to pay attention. You want to pay attention to how, when we're talking about the before phase, is okay. I want to envision or focus on myself, how I'm gonna look when I'm preparing myself for the things that I'm gonna have to deal with. Let's say if we're talking about school, and let's say that you have a presentation. Okay, how am I gonna look at myself getting ready for that presentation? Okay, I'm gonna go to the middle part, and that's during the presentation. I want to see myself during the presentation, and then the after. The aftermath of the presentation. How am I see myself after that presentation? Being more relaxed and already when the presentation is done and over. Okay. This is what I call vision. It's the meditation and meditation slice visualization. So the visions you want to do, it's a black script and a white script. The white script is when you visualize the three parts and everything is going nice and smooth, which is the idea what we want to work on. Okay. The second part is, okay, the black script, we're going to look at ourselves assuming that things go wrong, something is go wrong, so you have to fix it. You want to see how you're going to react to that. Of course, before that situation shows up, you already want to have an idea what you're going to do, because you want to have that kind of prevention and saying, okay, how am I going to react if things don't go my way? All right. Let's say that I have a presentation, and when I'm visualizing myself before the presentation, I'm kind of forgetting the stuff that I'm gonna talk about because I'm super nervous. Okay, what am I gonna do? All right. One thing that I work a lot with the people, with my students or my clients too, is breathing. What they call box breathing. That's the one thing that can help you calm down. It's used by Olympians. It's used by the Navy SEALs. So box breathing is four parts: breathe in, hold it, breathe out, hold it. Do it, and then you repeat: breathe in, hold it, breathe out, hold it. And every of the four parts is gonna be the same length. If I breathe in for 3 seconds, I'm gonna hold it for 3 seconds. I'm gonna breathe out for 3 seconds. I hold it for 3 seconds again, and I just repeat. Okay. Now, breathing helps you calm down. So if you're nervous and you're having any problems, whether it's in you're visualizing how you're gonna be working before, during, or after the presentation or anything that you have to do, if you go back to the breathing, it's always gonna help you calm down. And the idea of the breathing is not just doing the box breathing, is you wanna focus on your breathing. So you really wanna kind of listen to it inside of you and pay attention to that. So that's going to distract you from all the things that are going through your head in the moment, and try to refocus on the things that you want that you want to be focused on. So do the white script, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the things that you have to do. You want to be able to see in your mind that things are not going to go well and how you're going to respond. Okay, it's very important that you can see yourself responding in a calm and centered way, because that's the way you want to see yourself. This is how I feel powerful. This is how, when I look at myself in my head responding to this situation or stressful situations this way, that really makes me feel confident, and that really makes me feel good. In the end, the idea is that you got to find something that is going to bring you back to where you were. It's going to bring the attention back. It's going to calm you down. One thing that I can tell you, there is not one technique, there is magic. It's something that you're just gonna get better doing it as you practice it. So use the visions. Use the visions. It's a visualization that is almost meditation, because the idea is that you want to look at the way you're doing things in a very slow tempo. The idea of reacting center and calm is we're just trying to move as far as possible from being impulsive, and allowing the tough situations or the problems that we might face, allowing them to freak us out. So when you slow it down, and the way you visualizing yourself, and you are able to respond the proper way, and then you say, okay, let's do the black script. Let's do it. Let's say things go wrong. What am I gonna do? But you always focus on doing it slow, and always focusing on your breathing, because that's the way you want to react when things don't go well, because that's going to bring you back to a more centered state of mind. And when you're doing things, that's the way you want to be too, because you're centered and focused doing in the thing that you're doing in the moment. And that gives you a much better possibility of your mind staying focused and not wandering around with things around you or things in your mind. Okay, well, I hope it helps, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.